Good morning, guys. So as you saw from that little intro time lapse, I got this section closed up back here, the insulation put in, plywood put on, and the cutouts for the outlets you see there. So this is going to be part 2 of the electrical rough-in. I'm basically just continuing pretty much right where I left off. As you can see, all of these bays are still open. I will be getting insulation put into these bays. I will be running an additional wire because I decided that I'm going to be putting an exhaust fan up here. So I'm going to run a wire for that before I close up, this section with insulation. But yeah, this is going to be part 2, electrical rough-in, and we will just continue where I left off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to work. All right, so I'm going to focus on this switch panel here and these outlets. As you can see, I already have an outlet on here. This is fully terminated, as well as the one up here in the roof, which is going to be for this light. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, what I'm going to be focusing on is getting this circuit completed, which the one circuit is this outlet, this outlet, this outlet. And then the other circuit is this light switch, which will then in turn power this outlet and the outlet up there. So what I want to do is get these done and terminated. And then over on this side, I'm actually going to take those 2 wires for those 2 circuits, and I'm going to put a plug on them so that I can actually run a plug to this, and then my light switches and outlets over here will work. Part of that, what that's going to entail is actually running my big power cord from the house. So I have like a heavy duty power cord that I bought, extension cord essentially. And I'm going to be running that through this tube and then under the house, and it's going to go to the 30 amp breaker that was for the old spot where the dryer was outside. And in addition, I'm going to also run my data line, which is what this small one is. So that's going to get routed up. This is going to be conduit all the way up to that box. And then that's going to be where the Wi-Fi or the internet hard line is going to be plugged in. And then this one is going to be for water. So this is just a waistline, ABS. It's what they use typically for drain and sewage. I ran that because I intended to just run PEX inside of it. So there's not actually going to be water in this line. I'm just going to use that as a conduit to run PEX through. So I'm going to be bringing PEX in here. I plan to have a hose bib on the outside here. And just for an update, I did start putting the siding on. Oh, the dog sniffed something. So there's siding all on the outside front of the shop now. And then of course on the other side you guys saw. So continuing work on the shop as well. I'll just give you guys little updates. So I'm gonna have to start pulling that stuff in. But for right now, I'm gonna get started on this. Okay, just to give an explanation of what I just did. Typically, let me take my phone off of the stand. Okay, so what's going on here is we have one wire coming in, which is here, and then this wire going out, which goes to the outlet down there. So basically what I'm doing is I'm connecting all these wires. And these are the new style, basically the old twist-on wire nuts, they call them, which look kind of like acorns. This is the new style of what they use. And these are basically pushing connectors. These things are a lot easier to use. You can actually look in and see the wire on the inside if that'll focus. So you know that you have a good connection. And basically you just push these in and they lock. And that's it. So what you're doing is you're basically putting black, 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 ground, 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 white, white, white. And then on the outlets, as I've explained in other videos, newer outlets nowadays, I mean, they've been this way for a while, but the outlets actually have different colored screws. So there's a brass screw. Let me pull out one of these ones so it's easier to look at. So if you look at the outlets, there's a brass colored screw and a silver colored screw and then a green screw. So the silver one is your white wire, the brass one is your black wire, and then the green is your ground, which could be a copper or a green wire, depending on what type of wire you have. So it makes it real easy for hooking these up and making sure that they're the right way. So this is all done. So now I will just push all this into the box, screw this in, and then button this up. And then continue down to this one. And basically it's going to be the exact same setup because that is the wire coming in from the circuit panel and then jumping from there up to this box. So it's basically just daisy chained. So all three of these are on the same circuit. And then the switch will be similar. You have your wire coming in from the circuit box. This is the wire going to one outlet, which is this one here. So when you flip the switch, then that outlet's live. It turns these lights on. And then this one goes to the one up above. Same thing. You flip the switch, the outlet's live. The lights plugged into it will come on, which I don't have those lights yet, but they're ordered, so they're on the way. So I'm going to continue with this in time lapse. So again, let me just say, I am not a professional electrician or licensed electrician. So any electricians watching, please don't be too harsh. Anyway, let me show you what's going on with these switches. They're a little bit different. Okay, so I just wired up two switches basically, and I know this kind of looks like a mess. So basically what happens is all of your white wires get connected together. So there's no white wires that actually go to the switch. And then the switch itself, it has two blacks, as you can see. So one is the black coming in, which is your power. And then this is the black going out to the outlet in this case, or would be a light, you know, if you had it just hooked straight up to a light. So whites are all connected. Blacks are split through over the switch. So when you hit the switch, it makes the connection between the two blacks. That's what gives power to the outlet or the light that's on the other end. And then all the grounds, of course, are connected together. And since there were 5 grounds in here, I basically put 2 together, which is, if you can see that, those are all grounds. So everything's connected together. I don't know if they sell 5 of the, like ones with 5 ports in them. Maybe they do, I don't know. But the biggest ones that I have 4 ports. So anyway, that's how the light switches are hooked up. So I'm going to go ahead and get these ones buttoned up and then move on to the next outlet. All right, so as most of you know that watch my videos, my plumbing is inside the slab there, comes underground, runs here, underground, all the way to the house. I just pulled the piece of lattice off here behind the trash cans, and you can see the other end of the plumbing there. So you have the data conduit, electrical conduit, and water. So what I'm going to do now is I have this pull string, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a piece of like grocery bag, plastic bag to this, put it in the hole. Then I'm going to use a vacuum on the other side and it will suck it all the way through. And then I can use the pull string to pull my cable through. All right, so here's the little plastic bag tied onto the string. And we'll just put that in there. I hope that this works, but I guess we'll see. vacuum cleaner. Okay, so that pulled all the way through. I actually ended up having trouble on the small one, so I'll have to retry that. I went to the big one and then put a bigger piece of plastic on there, but now I have my pull line all the way through, and so I'll start pulling that heavy-duty extension cord through there. Okay, so I got my big extension cord through there. That was a bit of work. Luckily, one of my friends had stopped by and gave me a hand with it because there was no way I was going to get that on my own. So now I'm working on running the PEX through. I basically have the string line run through, already tied off, getting ready to pull it. And then you can see my string running all the way over there. So let me get this thing through, and then I'll just have the data cable left. All right, well, that small one is giving me some trouble. I try to feed the string through and use the vacuum, and it gets like halfway and just stops. So I'm gonna have to wait. One of my other friends has 100-foot fish tape, so I'll wait till I get that in the next day or two, and then I'll get that last cable pulled through. In the meantime, though, I did wire in a plug here to the 2 circuits that are running over to the workbench. So all of these outlets are working. So you see if I plug in, see the lights come on, my battery charger, and then the switches, so hit switches, light goes off. I have one of the lights up there, light goes off, back on. So these switches work and the outlets work for now. My next thing that I'm going to continue with is getting the insulation put in on all of these lower bays, and then possibly going and getting the tar paper and then closing that out with tar paper, and then I'm going to be putting pallet wood over that. Although I don't know that all that will happen in this video because I'm trying to stay focused on the electrical stuff. So what I will probably start doing is running the remainder of the wires that are going to go up through the roof. And basically, it's going to be 2 sets of wires going into the grinding room. One's going to be for lights, one's going to be for outlets. Actually 3 wires are going to be going into the CNC room because I'm going to have outlets, lights, and then also the 220 for someday when I get a CNC router. And then there's going to be wires that run up to the office for lights and outlets. There's going to be a light and outlet in the storage room so that I have a light that I can flip on. And then I think that's about it. So I'll just continue running that stuff and getting things going. Well, that's some visual progress. Yeah. All right, so everything is insulated here. Tar paper is up. The tar paper is only going to go where the pallet wood is going to go. It's not necessarily for a moisture barrier or anything like that. It's just so if there's lines in between the pallet wood, like if it doesn't match up perfectly once I start putting it up, all you're going to see through it is black. You're not going to see insulation or wood or whatever. So it's kind of a decorative aspect, I guess, more than a weatherproofing aspect. But then also keeps the insulation all solid, you know, so that it's not, I guess, coming out in between the pallet wood, if that makes sense. So all of this electrical is done. I mean, minus, you know, those outlets I have not terminated yet. That's because Home Depot only had 4 black outlets, so I gotta wait till they get more in. And then this is probably where it'll sit for right now. I know I said I was going to wire a fan up there before I did this, but I'm actually going to just run it up. I figured that would be a better route to get it up to there. to where the vent fan is going to be. Plus I haven't ordered it yet, so I want to get it to make sure that I'm going to be doing everything right. So, but yeah, now I'm going to continue, start drilling holes down all these, and then pulling wires into the grinding room will be the next. And then here, 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 all the places I still have to pull wire to. Good morning. As you can see, I'm starting to drill the pass-throughs for, if you can see all the holes up there going through the rafters, for all my wire runs that are going to be going to other parts of the shop. Luckily, I have this wood chip collector. Okay, let's start running some wire. All right, guys. So essentially, this is about the longest run in my shop. It goes, you know, up the wall here, across the entire shop, and down the wall here. So the wires that I just ran were basically for the grinding room. I have everything buttoned up in here. Coming down, there's going to be an outlet there. There's a wire that comes over here, comes down, outlet there. I think I will actually end up adding a third outlet in here. I was going to do double outlets, but I think I'm going to do 3 single outlets instead of 2 doubles. So I will add another outlet probably in this area here. And then I also got the light switch wire run. This one's not tacked in yet, but it's going to get there. And then the other one that I ran is the power wire that's going to be going up to the mezzanine storage. So basically that's just going to go to a switch that's going to turn on a light. There's not going to be any outlets or anything like that up there. I just want to be able to have a light in there. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Oh yeah, I got some new license plates I added up there. Old license plates from my FJ, and then old license plate from my Harley in California. Yeah. All right, guys, so like I said, that's going to wrap up this video. As this is, you know, very exciting stuff for me, getting to this stage and like getting electrical actually started and run in my shop, I realize that it's not very good content for you guys. It's a little boring after a while. So I'm going to continue with a lot of this off camera and try to get a bunch of it caught up as far as outlets being terminated, the remaining wires being run, and I need to get my circuit breaker box is kind of the next big thing that I need to get. So, and then also I should have the lights coming in for the main shop lights this week. I think they're going to be delivered, so I'll start putting those in. But like I said, I'm going to try and do a lot of this off camera so that the next video it's a little bit further along. But anyway, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. I know I haven't asked that in a while, but trying to get to 1,000. It's so close. Anyway, I'm still like 160 away or something like that. But anyway, thanks again, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Aloha.